So it's finally here, the moment that a lot of you have been waiting for. This is the Gigabyte RTX 3090 Gaming OC24G. Quite a lengthy name to mention, but no doubt this is one of the best graphics card you can buy in the market as of now, if there's still stocks. But of all the graphics cards out there, this is one of the biggest around. So by big, I mean it's really big. It measures thickness of at least 2.5 slots, so you will need quite a lot of space there. And of course, compared to all the previous Gigabyte graphics card we have tried before, this is really long, as you can see here. So just to let you have a clearer view of how long this card is, we have an ITX board here as comparison. So I won't really plug into the board because it's not properly placed, but if you look at how the card will be installed on the board, you can see that it's almost two of the board itself. So if you're installing this card on an ITX board, you might really have to look for a proper chassis for it. So let's get into what all this card is about. Design-wise, the Gigabyte RTX 3090 Gaming OC24G here comes with a triple fan design, which Gigabyte call it the wind force cooling fans. And if you look at how the fan spins here, we can tell that the middle fan is actually spinning in an alternate direction, just like the rest of the wind force OC cards in the past, which Gigabyte claims that will be able to reduce the air turbulence, thus providing bigger and wider air coverage on the heatsink to provide better cooling performance. And we actually experienced that ourselves, and yeah, it's pretty good, I would say. As for the heatsink design, you'll find the usual direct copper heatsink here, which the copper part is in direct contact with the GPU die to provide better cooling efficiency. The metal backplate provides a full coverage on the PCB, leaving some gaps or cutout at the very near end of the cards. The cutout at the near end of the backplate here actually resembles the cooling design of the Foundry Edition's card, which the hot air will be directed through the heatsink and the gaps directly to the rear fans, which will indirectly help to provide better cooling as according to the design of the NVIDIA Foundry Edition cards. And looking at the side of the card itself, yes, Gigabyte actually designed their card with the PCIe power connector at the very end of the card itself instead of having the power connectors in the middle, so you make your power cable management a lot easier. And last but not least, for the display output on the card, you'll have 3 pieces of display port and 2 HDMI ports. So for all of you out there who really wants more than one HDMI port, this card has that to offer to you. So that's pretty much for our brief introduction of the card, and let's look at the benchmark numbers here. So that's the benchmark result for the Gigabyte RTX 3090 Gaming OC24G we have here, and from the results you can actually see that this card is owning it. But by how much? If we compare the performance to a RTX 3080, the performance difference is not exactly that big in terms of all the resolution we have tested. But of course, if you were to compare this card and the 3080 on 1080p, it's absurd, because if you can afford this card, you will definitely not be gaming on 1080p. You should be gaming on 1440p at least. As for the performance difference of roughly around 10 to 20%, I would say it's a bit hard to justify. But then again, NVIDIA did mention that this card is actually your first step to go into 8K gaming. We don't really have any 8K monitor in the lab to test for now, so we can't really, gauge how well it will perform in 8K. We'll leave the 8K testing for the future, but as of now, we can say that this card performs really well on 4K gaming. As compared to the 3080, you'll be getting a really good average frame rates, lows, highs in average. And I would say if you're seriously into 4K gaming, well, this card will definitely bring you there. So with that being said, the RTX 3090 here is pretty much the best card you can get for 4K gaming as of now, but at what cost? We don't have the official pricing for this card as of now, but if we look at the official pricing of the reference card or the Founders Edition of the RTX 3090 on NVIDIA's website, it will cost you around 1500 US, which is already double the price of the RTX 3080 itself. But of course, if you are really ready for one of the best 4K gaming experience you can get at the time being, or if you are ready to get into 8K gaming as soon as the monitor is available publicly, yes, this might be the card you want to invest your money into. But personally, for myself, I don't really game on 4K, not even 1440p, so I'll probably end up with a 3080 instead. But of course, if you are really ready into this, why not? But things to take note is that if you are using a very old power supply, even though it can provide you 1000 watt, you might have some issues with older design, because we do experience some hiccups during the test because we are using a rather old power supply, which it will work, but it involves quite a lot of trial and error because of the older power design itself. So if you are building a brand new PC with the RTX 3090, well, just might as well get a brand new power supply that can really support this card. So that concludes our early hands-on on the Gigabyte RTX 3090 Gaming OC24G. Do let us know what you think about this card. Will you get the RTX 3090 or something else? Do let us know what you think, and if you like this video, do give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys in the future video.